Any comments? Okay, approval of minutes from March 11th.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from March 11th.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved from March 11th as presented. Superintendent's comments or report. Jen?
Well, I think we'll do the engineer part first.
Okay, good. Sorry, that wasn't.
You're okay.
A couple of things happened since last meeting. And one, we took the liberty, sort of moving on without any places. I mean, we've been talking about it, but as you guys have probably seen, they're doing the work there on Springer Street and on the alleys, both to the east and the west. And one of the stormwater issues that was identified a year ago was that piece where you could drive up and drop off mail at the post office in between the library and the post office. And we had asked the contractor that was doing the work for the city for the long-term control plan project to also give us a price to do the storm sewer work while they were in there, because they basically built a brand new sewer, sanitary sewer, picked up a couple of homes, picked up the library.
Yeah.
And so they had already torn that alley up to the west of Springer, and that we thought at the time we might as well have them do the storm sewer work. We had originally estimated, guys, that work was going to cost, excuse me, but when we did our back of the napkin estimate, we said $170,000. We revised those numbers once we had bids in hand, because the contractor that was doing the sanitary work had mostly bid prices for all those items. And we thought it was going to bring it down to about 134. Well, the final price we ended up getting from BTF to do the work was, excuse me, I can find it here, was $83,535. So like basically half of what I originally thought it might cost is what it's going to end up costing. And quite frankly, this 83,000 was pretty itemized, and we actually, I think, eliminated a couple of inlets because we had to, because there was so many utilities at the intersections of the two alleys. So it could even come down a little bit from that, but I guess we had told BTF to move forward, and I guess I'm asking for your guys' approval to formally approve this, that stormwater would pay for these improvements out of your guys' funds.
Well, they needed to go.
They needed to go fast.
And we were like, we don't want to hold that price up.
So
Motion to approve
The project.
the
Yeah.
project?
Is that a motion on your end?
No.
Okay, yeah, make a motion to approve the proposal as presented here.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
okay, I appreciate that, guys, because I didn't know how I was going to pay for the 80,000.
Engineering fees.
I don't think I make that much off the stormwater board, Dave.
No more good news, Ben.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I have one more piece of good news, John. We had discussed also at the last meeting that we were looking to do a big storm sewer down Van Buren from Lynn Grove to Shug Street, and then we were gonna come south. But we were thinking about globbing onto that and coming south on Shug and Portland. Originally, the price tag was pretty high, 300,000 plus or something, and I mean, it was an expensive sewer. And again, the Van Buren corridor we thought was going to be paid for through a road project the city also wanted to do along that same stretch of the same corridor there, Van Buren from Lynn Grove to the west. And at the end of the year, we found out from CC&G we were not funded, and we were disappointed because, then we were maybe going to have to pay for that all on our own. Good thing is that on the very last day that the state legislators were in session, they approved another $75 million to be paid or to go into the CC&G fund to fund projects that were initially denied at the end of the year. So we hurried up, got the thing out to bid. We bid it on March 31. We received bids for that work, and it was in the amount of approximately $775,000. And that includes all the storm sewer, the backbone of that storm sewer on Van Buren from Lynn Grove to the west, which is 18-inch and 12-inch diameter storm sewer. So all that's wrapped up now in the CCMG funding. So you guys are basically paying, I think, 20 cents on the dollar for that storm sewer work. That's all coming. And I don't know, the city hasn't talked about any kind of cost share there, have they, anyway? I mean, they're gonna pay for that corridor, I thought.
Yeah, we're allocating it between Storm and Street.
Okay, thank you, God. I never did ask you, but I thought
Yeah.
I would bring it up.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were gonna come call them with a bill.
Yeah.
But anyway, so good things. We're getting able to have that built. I think Shannon's gonna talk about this next, but we do have some other areas that I've obviously identified as storm water issues. And, I think maybe at a future meeting, we'll ask you guys to decide which projects to pursue. But, that Van Buren work is going to occur, sometime late summer or early fall. I don't know when. We just signed the contract with the low bidder for the CCMG project. And I haven't had an opportunity to have a pre-construction conference to get schedule out of those guys yet, but good thing is we're gonna get a lot of nice new, that street's gonna be curb and gutter. It's gonna be brand new inlets and all the intersections. It's gonna be a heck of a lot nicer than it is now. Street's gonna be widened and completely reconstructed, so it's really gonna be a nice stretch
So
there.
there will be parking? on each
There will
side?
be parking, Dave, if people wanna park on
Yeah.
that. And I do
Because
think
there's
people are
parking
already
now.
using, yeah,
Yeah.
people are already using their
Yeah.
side right away.
But the curbs will be pushed far enough for us to park. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it will be a much nicer street. And quite frankly, from 27 to Lynn Grove, you already have a nice wide street there on Van Buren anyway, with curb and gutter. It's just that we continue on all the way to the west, to the field.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
anyway, but that's all I got.
Okay.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Shannon?
Okay, so as Ben was saying, at the next meeting, I would like to bring a list of projects with his estimates so that the board can advise us which way they want to proceed in order of, how they want to try to spend some of the money that we have. Some of those areas that I want him to get looked at is, Ben on the Van Buren, is that taking it down?
It literally, that storm sewer will go all the way to the field.
Right, but are we spurring to go south on that?
There is a stub out of a manhole at the intersection of Van Buren and Portland, as well as at the intersection of Van Buren and Sugar Street.
Okay, so the one thing I would like to see is that we get to Shug and get down to like what I call Brenneman's. We're always floods and stuff down in there. So I want to get that price so that we can get that thrown into that project if we can, just moving forward. But also then there will be some prices for, some areas that we've already looked at, one of them being over by, all I can think of people's names, and I don't want to say people's names, I want to use streets. Over in the Water Street area on the west side of town, it floods over there. Is that Sugar Water? Is that where that is? Yeah, Sugar Water. We've kind of looked at that area before, trying to figure out how to get a larger pipe to where we can go, but we got to look at some hydraulics and see if that's going to affect things in a bad way or a good way. But anyway, I've been look at that. I've been look at, there's an area around what I would call the northwest core area where it's High Street, Columbia Street, all that stuff up in there. There's bad drainage up there that needs looked at. There's some other projects that we've gotten written down, but I just want to get the list to him so that we can bring them to the board so that the board can sit there and identify what they think the most pickable fruit is to start putting those things in a ranking order and go forward. So probably in the next week to 2 weeks, I'll meet with Ben and we'll go through all that and have him kind of give a prelim at the next meeting.
I'm trying to look off of Van Buren. Wasn't there, weren't we having some problems? Okay, you are going south on Portland.
We can, yes.
Okay,
We'll be able to, Dave.
okay. Yeah, that's where we were having some issues before, right? Okay.
We had talked about going maybe half a block, but there's an alleyway there that floods, I know,
Right.
behind some of the people's houses at front Van Buren.
Okay. Anything else, Shannon?
Not right now. No.
Okay. Next meeting date, we want to get that on the books. You said you need a couple of weeks to get the list together. Is that going to give you
Yeah.
enough time?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I'm going to shoot for the 20th, 27th. I'm available both of those days
Same here.
of May,
27th.
27th?
27th.
I mean, I'm open both days. That gives us an extra week. if you guys are okay with that.
That works. And then, next item, board comments. Any comments, Nick?
Nothing for me.
Nothing for me. And with that, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Have a great day.
Did you put that in there?